Ladies and gentlemen, your host for this evening, hailing from the northern shores of Lake Michigan and recording live from sunny Southern California, Mac Daddy Break Your Heart, the number one on the charts, Mr. Sinks the Shot, he's racing for the top, the reputable, the admirable, Roz.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to What in the World with Roz. We've got our next guest on. I'm super excited about this. I'm sure you've seen him on television sets. I know you've seen him on your Spotify channels. He's one half of the music group DACAV, and I'm going to get into that because I think Chicago people pronounce the name a little bit differently. He's a good friend of mine. He helped me out when I came to Vegas last August, so I'm super excited that he was willing to come on the show today. I'm really excited to welcome Mikey P. How are we doing today?
What's going on, man? Having a good day, man. Living out here in Vegas and just surviving a pandemic.
Right, and it's hot there, I'm hearing. I got some people.
It's actually nice. Today, for some reason, I don't know what it is, it's only 75 degrees. So after I get off this, I might go in the mountains and go hiking for a little bit.
It's great, especially great for the mind. And I guess we'll bring it up since we usually timestamp these shows with what's going on, and a lot's been going on the last couple of weeks. I wanted to check, see how you and your family are doing during coronavirus, some of the things that you've done during it. I know you just dropped the album, which I'm super excited to talk about. We're going to definitely get into that here shortly. But how has coronavirus been overall for you?
The coronavirus has been fine. It's for me because I don't know if you guys remember. If you remember, I was in Cabo. I almost got quarantined in Cabo. So I got booked to do spring break, hosting spring break in the beginning of March. And I was there for about 3 weeks. And then all this stuff started happening and I got flown home a little early. So I kind of got that out of my system for the 3 weeks I was there partying. So when I came back, it was kind of nice to just relax and do nothing. And I was able to focus to get the album sorted out, getting everything that I needed to get done for the album release. So that was fine. And then I've just been doing a bunch of home workouts and whatnot. Our gyms just started opening up. So fortunate enough to go work out now. But my family's out in Jersey. They've been fine. My mom and dad are just bored. I think that's what it is. It's just kind of boredom. Nobody's really affected by anything. So my grandfather's stuck in a nursing home and he can't leave. If he leaves, he has to be quarantined for 2 weeks. So he just doesn't leave.
Wow. So it is really everyone just kind of being stuck in position right now. And hopefully I'll come into an end soon. And just because I brought it up. So I pronounce it DACAV. Am I saying it wrong or is that way too Chicago of me?
No, it's DACAV. It's
okay, cool.
DACAV. D-A-C-A-V.
I'm pretty sure drunk me last August was concerned with the way I was pronouncing it to you as well. But
sometimes people say decaf, but we're not coffee. So
no, not the decaf version. You go all in.
I want all the caffeine.
Caffeine.
It's decaf. It's short for decavalry. It's like we're kind of like the soldiers of the industry. That's the way we look at it.
And it's awesome. Let me just tell you, I'm really excited because in the next segment, we're going to break down some of the songs that I absolutely love and then just kind of getting the creative flow of it. The next segment, as I call it, is Around the World, and it's going to be Around the World with Mikey P. Are you ready to go around the world, Mikey?
Around the world.
All right, here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Nobody parties better than my man, Mikey P here. We are here to go around the world with him. And I thought it's only fashionable and favorable that I take a shot in honor of this man. He helped me out a lot while I was in Vegas, like I mentioned earlier. So this one's for you, Mikey. I'm excited to party. This is my getup.
This is crazy.
I know. I'm getting after it today. It's Monday, so beginning of the week. Why not start the right way? So here's to everybody.
Obviously. Cheers. I have my shaker cup here.
Yeah, you're just way healthier than I am. So you're doing a great job. I'm actually wearing a Chaos hat. I've never been to Chaos in Vegas. I don't know why I have the hat. But I'm going to rock this party vibe.
It's an antique now because Chaos is shut down for good.
Wow. So
I am an antique. Selling on eBay in 10 years.
I have 4 of them, 2 of this orange color, 2 of the yellow color, all neon. So it's great. You can find me in a party. I'll wear this for the first topic, which is homegrown and beginning of a journey. You're from the East Coast. You originally from Philadelphia, went to high school in New Jersey. I've got to ask, I'm a Midwest kid, so I have no understanding of the East Coast. I've got family that lives there, but they're not from there. There's a lot of rivalries. Philadelphia, very loud. New Jersey and New York, I know they got their beef. Boston, Massachusetts with everybody else, it feels like. I got to know, is it something in the water there that gets you guys kind of like fired up about competing, which is the best East Coast state?
I don't know. I mean, I think we're all just competitive out there. Even where I'm from, so Philadelphia, obviously, we're loud, we're in your face. it's just, I don't know what it is. We just we're passionate. That's the best way to describe it. We're passionate.
That word.
And then New Jersey, there's always a South Jersey, North Jersey rivalry. I'm from the South Jersey area. That's where my family is. And I love it. It's definitely more laid back in country. North Jersey is more influenced by New York. So I'd say South Jersey and Philly are like in a rivalry with New York and North Jersey. And I like where I'm from way better than up there. North Jersey, it's all right. But I mean, too much traffic.
Tell me if I'm wrong here. So I've been on the West Coast now for 3 years. And everybody I meet from the Midwest, we're all like, we hug each other. It's one big love. And I feel that way about the East Coast, except for one group. And that is New Yorkers. When you ask about the East Coast and you bring up New Jersey, that and Staten Island, a quick dump. They just like throw it out of the picture. It's almost like they don't invite you to the family reunion. Is that common?
You cut out for a second, sorry. But yeah, I mean, New York is just not, I mean, they're not as friendly as we are. But I mean, like I said, North Jersey is probably not as friendly as South Jersey. I just think that it's so intense up there, and I feel like there's so much going on. There's too many people walking around. Too many people are having an attitude. Too many things have gone wrong in somebody's day. They couldn't get a taxi. They probably were late for their train. Who knows? Their coffee took too long, and they got late back to the office. Everybody just has a chip on their shoulder in New York. And I feel like South Jersey and Philadelphia area, we're more laid back. So I don't know, we're more chill. But yeah, I definitely can see it. I think if I lived in New York, I'd probably be more high strung too. Like there's way too many people. Even when I go visit, I'm just like, how are there this many people all the time? It's so annoying.
It's insane. And I feel that way about LA, but it's more spread out. So I'm not on top of everybody all the time. But
LA is more spread out. I mean, walking through like Times Square in New York is like walking through, I don't know. It's just like a lot of people. You're just walking. It's like walking through like a festival, a music festival at all times.
That's the perfect. I was thinking of weird metaphors I was going to put for it, like maybe a tunnel where you just shove everybody into, but
it's like you're going
the right way to go about it.
You're trying to get front row.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool to know from the East Coast, but also in terms of journeys and where it began, I do want to know about the beginning of DACAV and how you and Brian Jenkins met and how it came together and how you got to this point right now. Did you guys meet on the East Coast? Was this something that happened later down the line?
We have a good story for that. So like when we actually went to separate high schools. I went to Rancocas Valley High School. He went to Lenape High School. He's a little bit older than me. And in my high school, I was rapping. I was doing talent shows. I was involved with like the hip hop community in the school. And I rap. I mean, I'm good at writing. I wasn't great at rapping at the time. I was actually horrible, I think. But I started getting involved with some of the people that were good, and then I kind of like started guiding my flow and different things around them. And I started getting in the studio with them, and I started making music or whatever. And then I got involved in radio immediately afterwards, after high school, whatever. But then my one buddy worked at this like place called the Funplex or the Fun Zone. It was like a go-kart mini golf place, and he was like, he saw B, and B worked there too, and he's like, yo, he's like, you rap? He's like, my friend Mikey raps too. He's like, you guys should meet. So literally I went. He was like running the go-karts at the time, and I went there like I was doing a fucking American Idol audition because B was good. B has always been amazing, and he had this group, DACAV. At the time it was the Cavalry. And it was like 6 really good rappers. And then I was like just getting there, and I went there and I like spit my best verse for him. Like I felt like I was literally like on like The Voice or something. And he hit the button and he turned around. Yeah, no, he liked it. And we kind of was like, he was like, oh yeah, he's like, dude, I want to get you in the studio. Let's see if we can come up with some stuff. So we did. We came up with a couple different songs for myself, some solo stuff. And then he had a couple guys that weren't working out in his group, and he's like, yo, I think I want to bring you in my group and like see if we can make this work. And then from there, we started making some dope songs. We came out with a song called Tetris that went like viral back in the day. I mean, that's almost like 8 million on Spotify. And then we kind of started guiding everything towards the pop radio thing, and that's my lane. So now it went from like being this underground hip hop, like super hip hop, dope rappers, bars, to more or less like Black Eyed Peas meets like LMFAO meets like a little bit of underground hip hop. So it started being like more me and him than the rest of the group, which was fine. But everybody's like we had different roles then. And I got a job at Q102 in Philadelphia, big radio station. And then I got him a job there too. And we were doing promotions and I was running boards overnight. And then we started making remixes for the DJs. And then we started doing shows. I did like the Jingle Ball show for Q102. I did like their summer concert. I was able to wrap everything in it. So I think me getting into the group and then me meeting B-Rock became like a pivotal moment, because at the time it's like rap groups like that, like they either pop off or they fizzle out. Everybody like starts getting, normal life. And that's what happened with the rest of the group. They kind of like doing their own thing. And then me and him were just like, fuck this, let's just go. Let's go full force. And then DACAV became more or less just him and I. And then we brought in like a female singer. And then she kind of didn't work out. She kind of went away. And then we brought in another female singer. And then we were like, fuck this, if we're going to keep this going, let's keep it like DACAV is us. But, we're the main members. But then we have pivotal like other members that pop in here and there to make the songs happen. So people always know we're the face, but then other people pop in and we just have a bunch of features. So it's kind of like that. It's like the Wu-Tang, like Method Man and Redman and RZA, like they still do their solo projects. I know Redman's not in the Wu, but Method Man brought him in and they do songs together. But you recognize certain names with it, and then you kind of just use your platform and take off. And I think that's how it is. I think everything kind of tied in together and just worked out. We hit the right buttons at the right time, and we're still doing good. I mean,
yeah,
we released an album here in 2020, and we've been doing it since 2005. So 15 years later.
I was gonna say what you brought up. I was gonna wait to bring up till later, but Tetris. And the first thing I said to you when I met you was, your verse in Tetris. That would be my party trick when I was 13, 14, 15 years old. It would come on. I remember being in basements with black lights, tons of girls, tons of guys, just preteen or teen angst, and Tetris would come on. Your verse would come on, and I'd be ready to rip with it. And I loved it. It was our anthem for the longest time and still is. And that's why I love seeing Tetris 2020 on the new album. But no, that's an awesome
new verse.
Yeah, I do. I love the new verse already. I got to learn it though. It's going to take me a second. It was a long process the first time, because the speed is really hard to capitalize on. Like you just come out of the
Tetris is the craziest thing, because we were making this this kind of mixtape with the group. It's called The Most Popular Group You Never Heard Of. That was the album that Tetris was on, and we wanted to make something that like kind of crossed over into the EDM scene, because at the time, I don't know if you remember, 2004, 2005, EDM was starting to like pop off. Flow Rider started rapping over EDM beats. Black Eyed Peas started making like those pretty much their anthems that they have. Everything started switching over, and we're like, yo, if we want to get this, we got to get on the wave now. And B sent me this beat, and he's like, yo, this DJ kind of like remixed this Tetris sound, and I'm like, fuck it, let me see if I can rap to it. And I made my verse. And I sent my verse, I sent part of my verse back, and then he sent a hook back, and I was like, yo, let's just fucking do it. I wrote my verse literally, I wrote my verse that day, and then I recorded my verse. I used to work as a bank teller I recorded my verse on lunch, like my lunch break. I drove to his house. Literally, his house was 25 minutes away from the fucking bank. Drove to the bank. I drove to his house from the bank, 25 minutes, recorded my verse in like 10 maybe 15 minutes, and then drove right to the bank, and I made my most popular song in the world. Literally, like what?
Amazing. We're gonna head to the next topic. This is about travel. I'm actually very curious here. You've hosted a fair share of parties. You've been an MC. Would you consider yourself an MC? What is it, or an opener for Pauly D?
Well, no, for
more people.
For Pauly and like for any DJ I work with or any clubs, I'm the MC of like the venue, more or less. Like I've done stuff with Pauly specifically, like we've done shows together, but it's more or less like the venue will book me because we've worked together and we have a good rapport. I basically just know what he likes prior to him going on. And I know what I want to see the opening DJ play, and I just try to like set up the bigger DJ or the guy that's headlining better than most people.
Get people fired up for sure.
I try to be humble about saying that, but I really am good at setting up DJs. And you can ask any DJ in Vegas that I've worked with. I make them seem like the headliner, but I also make the headliner shine more because I'm going to set them up the best way I can. And I think that's why I keep getting rebooked.
That's crazy.
Yeah. As an MC, I like to go on and I like to get the crowd involved because a lot of times, a lot of venues will do something where they kind of just, it's dead. I know radio. If it's dead air, it's almost like dead air until the headliner comes on. And I think that sucks because now you have people that have been at a pool since 11 a.m. or noon, and the headliner doesn't come on until 3 p.m. or 2:30. So prior to that, I want to hop on the microphone. I want to get the shout outs. I want to get birthday shout outs. If there's a bachelorette party, I want to go up to them with a free shot or a free drink or something like that. I want to get on the microphone and ask where people are from, shout out your city. I want to make people feel like they're involved in the party, because at the end of the day, they come to Vegas or they go to these parties to have a good time. No one comes here to have a bad time. So if I can make them have a better time, that's what I do. So it's not even mostly it's not even about me. I like to make the party happen. And I like to make it happen sooner, because when people wait for that fucking 3 p.m. climax, by then they're wasted. Their friend probably got kicked out. They got in a fight with somebody. They might have slipped and fell in the bathroom. They might have got fucked over on some drink prices. You don't know what could have happened. So maybe they won't even make it to there. So if I can make their day better prior to that, I try.
Right, and I got to ask, and I feel bad taking Vegas out of the equation, but I think it's only fair because you spend most of your time there. Best city to get hyped at, or best city at getting hyped versus the worst city? And you don't have to throw a city under the bus if you don't want to. I just throw it in there, a little gotcha journalism. But what is the best city for sure to get hyped at, or that gets hyped up the most?
Well, for me, I mean, anytime I do something in Philadelphia, it's home to me. Like I try to always throw a party when I go home for like a length of time in Philly. Like I go to like Down nightclub out there, anything like that, and then all my friends show up. So for me, it's like, yeah, they might not be there screaming like, but they're so hyped to party with me because I've grown up with them. These are people that don't ever fucking come out, and they come out and party. They bring their fucking girl, whatever, and we have a good time. So I'd say like the most hype I ever get is Philadelphia, man. Because I thoroughly love going back home, and I love going out. I love hitting up like one of the club managers and be like, yo, let's fucking do this. And they want me to do it because I'm going to bring more revenue in, because they're my friends are coming out.
Right.
So yeah, Philly. I mean, I've had great times everywhere. Fucking, I just think Cabo was great. Me and Borges shut that shit down.
I was going to say, Cabo's got to be nuts.
Cabo was spring break. It was all spring breakers. Spring break people, the college kids are nuts. I love it.
Right. I had a great time doing that.
I'm trying to think.
It's great. I was going to say, do you want to throw a city under the bus? I'm kind of curious. I mean, you could choose like the most obscure city ever.
I'm trying to think of where I've had it's not really like throwing them under the bus. I'm trying to think of where I had like the least response for anything, but I feel like everything's always good.
Where like nobody's jumping up and down. Where like somebody accidentally brought their grandmother. No places accidentally showing up like that.
Like when you do like a local bar and like bumblefuck wherever, that's always like the worst thing, because a lot of times it'll be like a bar owner who loves me or loves my group or like something like that. And like me and my group performed at some fucking local bar in South Jersey, and the manager loved us. And we went there and we got in a fight mid-performance because one guy was like fucking heckling us. And so, I mean, I can't remember where it was. It was some like country town in New Jersey.
That's exactly what I was looking for. And that's fine because we don't know the name of it. They're not going to know that we shit on them. And you got a story for it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we still got, it was a booking. It was like one of the first ones. I mean, shit, you know, like you never know. In those beginning times before you're really getting any type of traction on your music or any type of traction on your brand, you never know what can happen. People always look for the worst in you first, and they hate on you first before they love you.
Right.
It's crazy.
We're moving on to a very important topic that we go through 7 of them. We're at number 3. This one, I want to make everybody aware that for the next week, every subscribe, every view, I put a cents and dollar amount for how much I'm going to donate to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, which is Mikey's foundation here today. I'm really excited about this one. You can never have enough cancer research. So Mikey, I'm gonna let you take it away, why this is important to you, and what I guess that is just the question, why it's most important to you and where it's impacted you in your life.
Yeah. So breast cancer has been a huge part of my life. Breast cancer research, like, because my mom actually beat breast cancer a couple of years ago. So it was a big part of my life. It was a huge part, an impact on my family. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know, we didn't know if she's going to recover. You never know. It's so many unknowns when it comes to breast cancer or any cancer. So I always try to like push anything donation wise, charity wise to breast cancer research because, hey, like that helped my mom recover. And today she's thriving. She made it out and she's happy. But that was a hard time. And I think a lot of women, a lot of families go through the same thing. And I don't know, like there's no right way to go through it. But I tell you right now, that shit sucks. And it really impacts you. So I think any type of help towards that, I mean, that's where I put all my time to. And I know anybody who sees this who has dealt with breast cancer can feel like the pain. Like they know this shit, it's not fun because it can go from great to terrible in a second.
No, absolutely. And I'm super excited to be donating towards this. We actually just had Derek Kaczynski on the last one, and we did MedGift, and that goes for a bunch of different medical things. But cancer has definitely impacted my family, so I love when we get the opportunity to give back and help and donate. It impacts families all over the world. So I'm really excited about this one. This will go up, and like I said, for every subscriber, it's 50 cents. For every like and view, it's 10 cents, and we're going to rack those up and get the donations in by the end of the week. We're moving on. It's always hard to transition for something that is very, very impactful, important to something a little bit lighter, but we're going to do this. Vegas is becoming the new hub for sports. It always has been in terms of gambling as well as UFC fighting, I think, has been there for a long, long time, but you now have the Vegas Raiders coming in there. There was a small conversation about having Major League Baseball or the NBA do all of their games there, but they're going to move to Orlando. I got to ask, are you seeing a big change in the city with all the sports coming in? And then I've got a follow-up about your American Ninja Warrior career and some pro athletes infiltrating that industry.
Well, so yes, the answer is yes. We are definitely seeing an impact because of the Vegas Raiders and like just sports in general.
Right.
Obviously now it's slowed down because of the pandemic, but what was happening is like the housing market was skyrocketing because of the stadium. And then recently because of this, it's been plummeting now. But I think in general, once everything gets back to normal, it's going to go through the roof. I mean, the ticket prices are outrageous for it, which I think is going to have to come down if you want normal people to go. I think a lot of the season ticket holders season tickets are already bought. I think it's going to be nuts. And I just think in general, because any city, like a lot of people don't even go to the game. Like just like being in Vegas when a sports event is happening is cool because now you get to go to the after parties. You get to see the pregame, which I actually don't know what kind of pregame is going to be. It's not going to be like parking lot pregame, but casino pregame. I think it's going to impact a lot of like my bartender friends, my waitress friends, restaurant friends. I mean, because people are going to want to go beforehand. They're going to go just watch the game at these places, like all these sports bars. Barcode. I mean, Barcode's going to fucking like they're going to thrive off this. Are you kidding me? Every Sunday that the Raiders are playing, everybody's going to be at Barcode. Barcode is my best friend Cody's bar out here,
Yeah, great place. I'm definitely about to do a little plug for them here in a minute.
Yeah, so I just think it's going to be huge. And then we have the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights have already just been killing it for us. Like, and they have so many more games obviously than football. So it's just the T-Mobile Arena has been nonstop with that. And then we have the Henderson Silver Knights, which is the B League, I think, for the Golden Knights. That's out here. We have the Las Vegas Ballpark, which is right across the street from my apartment, where we have the Aviators, which is the AAA team for the Athletics, I think. So, I mean, we have a whole fucking thing. Like, going to that baseball field is awesome. It feels like I'm back home watching the Phillies. So, I mean, I've heard more. I've heard that we might get a basketball team, which I think would probably just play at the T-Mobile Arena in some capacity. But I've also heard they want to bring a baseball team out here, MLB, and I don't know where they would put it. I've heard rumors about them getting rid of the Rio, which could be a possibility, but who knows?
It's crazy. And then Vegas Golden Knights are a great example of it. The fans were ready. They latched on
here. Like they made it to the playoffs, like they
right. And I'm curious, I don't know, I'm going to assume you're an Eagles fan over a Jets or Giants fan. Maybe I'm wrong. But are you going to jump bandwagon to the Raiders?
No.
Not bandwagon.
My family's an Eagles family through and through, except for a couple people that like the New York Giants.
They're not invited to the reunion. But
they're not invited to the barbecue. No, I mean, I'm still gonna be an Eagles fan, obviously, but I think it's just cool to have a city representation, you know, of football. And I'm definitely going to be going and rooting for the Raiders. I mean, I can't not, because they're here. You know, it's like if you go to LA and you want to watch the Rams now, you're going to watch the Rams. It feels good because it's like a unity thing. Yeah. Vegas is a little bit different because so many people are fucking like transports here that it's hard to get like a sense of your home team. But I think having a home team here will make those people that all come in, just like me, have that be like their unity. You know, like we're all here for the same cause. And yeah, we still have our teams that we love at home. Cool. But I think we're going to want to see our city win.
Yeah, that's great. In Vegas, there is a unity feel to Vegas, at least when I was there. And that might just be because I'm a ridiculous gambling addict. So everybody I sit at a table with is kind of like, we're all a team. Let's go get this dub.
Casinos are back open. Are you ready to come gamble?
I'm ready. I am stoked. I've been dreaming about it for weeks at this point. I got a question because you've been on American Ninja Warrior, and that's athleticism almost at its finest. I don't know how to explain, like, what I see you do even on Instagram when you're training for it. You can't really do unless you are that strong, have that crazy athleticism. So I asked because I recently watched an episode where a former NFL athlete, big-bodied, which I don't typically associate with American Ninja Warrior, competing in it, didn't do very well. I got to ask, how do you feel about these pro athletes coming into your pro sport as a pro at that level? Is it kind of insulting, or are you all in for everyone giving it a shot?
You know, like Ninja, I talk about community a lot when it comes to Ninja Warrior. I talk about and I talk about unity when it comes to Ninja Warrior. Ninja Warrior is literally a community. Like a lot of these people that are ninjas in a sense, they don't get to compete on the show. They don't care to compete on the show. There's a million of them that don't. We just like the sport. We like to train. We like going to the gym and trying obstacles and doing stuff that most, if not 95% of the world can't or won't do. So if I see somebody come in and try it out, I think that's awesome. Like I know a lot of pro athletes. I know a lot of athletes in general that I want to bring to the gym. They come to Vegas. I want to bring them there. I want them to try it out because a lot of them, like, they'll comment, they'll write me and be like, yo, that's dope. That looks like so hard, blah, blah, blah. But I want to go teach them. I want to be like, hey, let me show you this movement or whatever. And shameless plug right now, I'm actually involved in the opening of the first ninja gym in Las Vegas. It opens this Friday. It's called Ninja Nation. So we're opening downtown Summerlin. It's about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes off the strip. Ninja Nation, I'm involved. I'm going to be one of the coaches there all the time. So
it's going to go on the bottom line here. I got you. Any plug you have, I'm a plug show. Just whatever you got. If you're with Gatorade, if you've got.
No, it's been in the works for a while, but we actually just finished the contract stuff this week. So it's official. First Ninja Gym coming here.
Here we go. We're hop back in. So our next topic here is food and cuisines. Like I mentioned, you're Italian, so I kind of give it a leg up. If you think about like sports, there's major leagues, AAA and all that. Italians to me always have that major league status in terms of food. You can't really compete in terms of the quantity and the quality. But before we get into that, I got to ask, and since we're bringing it up, let's talk about Barcode Burgers with Cody Trimboli. My favorite place in Vegas, one of the only places I went to in Vegas while I was there. Fantastic burgers. I got to ask, only because I thought you were going to say it anyways, with coronavirus ending and restaurants opening back up, was that the first restaurant you went to? And if not, what would be the first restaurant you went to?
I was already at Barcode. I was there helping Cody with the deliveries. Cody's my best friend, man. Like, I do anything for that kid. So like during coronavirus, he was still running like Uber Eats and like doing personal deliveries because you got to stay afloat. It's a local business. So I was doing whatever I can to post as much as I can to get people going to support him. I mean, I was sending everybody. So yeah, I was already there. I mean, that was my first place. My second, I was already there 3 or 4 times when before it opened back up, just helping out. And then when it opened up immediately, I was there.
I mean, it's so inviting. It's just such a great atmosphere. And one of the funnier things is I know when I'm 70 years old and all I've got left to do is play the slots, I'm going to Barcode Burgers because they've got regulars who just go for the slots, and I'm going to be one of those guys.
So obviously, Cody is the homie. And come to Vegas, go check out Barcode Burger Bars.
Absolutely. Exactly what he just said. And honestly, the staff is fantastic. Like I said, atmosphere is great. I had a blast. And beyond even that, he took care of me like you did that entire weekend, and it was fantastic. So I really appreciate that. We're moving on here to finally the current project, New Life 2, came out this past weekend. Super, super exciting. I've been blasting it all week. And you mentioned this earlier. I know it's just you two at the helm, and I usually associate music with having features here and there. The features on this, awesome as well. I mean, just kicking it off like with the first song, which is, to me, it's not Scared anymore, right? And also, this is where I'm going to mess up because I'm really good at reading, but I'm bad at pronouncing. So is it Alenia?
Yeah, Alenia.
Alenia, word. And she's the vocals at the beginning, right?
Yeah, Alenia is she's a great singer, great writer. Everything that she was on, she actually wrote herself, and then she actually wrote the hook for Letting It Go as well.
Right.
She's a great writer. It's her name Jess. Her real name's Jess. She's from out in Jersey. Brian found her. I forget how he found her, but dude, she fucking came in the studio and knocked out some shit. I'm just like, yo, this girl is fucking amazing, man. Like
super pure voice.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. And it's a fire way to start off the album. I loved it. And obviously I've gone top to bottom with it. Because then again,
good intro song. I felt like that was a good, like, in your face intro song. Like, it's like basically the song is like, you can kick me down. You can do whatever you want to me. Like you kick me, but I'm not afraid. I've already dealt with all my demons. Right. I already feel confident about myself. Like I'm a fighter and I'm coming back for more.
No, absolutely. And that's the vibe. You're ready to go the rest of the way on the album. You're just shimmy off whatever knocked you down, and you're going to carry us the rest of the way with it. It's easy for me to read off these songs. I've got a lot. I mean, We Gotta Walk Away is huge. 1 AM in Las Vegas. Couldn't get me more excited to come to Las Vegas. And then Tetris 2020, obviously, we brought up. But I'm curious, I guess it's hard to pick a favorite because it's like a child, but do you have a favorite song on there?
I'd say, looking at this list, I always base about what I listen to first when I get in the car. That's how like, if I'm going to listen, I've been listening to my album nonstop now, but the first one I listen to every single time when I get in the car is We Gotta Walk Away.
Yeah.
I think Jesse, who Jay Stern is industry name, Jesse killed that fucking hook. Obviously has a lot of meaning because, I just went through a breakup publicly. So it was just a chance for me to like vent, and then anybody to vent. It's like we all go through breakups, divorces, and stuff like that. So a lot of times you just gotta walk away, man. You gotta just get away from it, and maybe things weren't as amazing as you thought, or maybe you were trying to like put some things down that you probably should raise to the surface and raise concern. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta walk away, and I think that's a good representation of that idea.
Well, you went into it exactly the way I was going to say. The feature is awesome, and it's Jay Stern, and Jesse is not the same. But like, just like you, I've got a cheat sheet too, just in case anybody gets after you about the cheat sheet. He was awesome.
Crazy is Jesse. I don't know if you follow him online. He's got, so on TikTok now, it's big for people to like kind of like go up to a random person and say something. He got hit with that girl Callista. I forget her name, Callista Quinn. Truth or sing. So she asks you a ridiculous question, and if you don't want to answer it, you have to sing the rest of the lyrics. And usually it's horrible singers. She messed with the wrong one that day.
No, he
murdered it. I was just like, yes.
No, yeah, he honestly, because I saw you post about it, so I went and checked out that song specifically, and I don't think you could have chose a better guy for the hook. He just sounded.
He has such a vibe. Oh my God, when he hits that high note on the hook, I can't sing it for nothing, but I sing it every time.
Yeah, I definitely can. That's why I sing alone in the car or the shower. The shower might be the only place anyone can catch me singing because I don't know who's around when I'm in the shower. But it's great, and I love every minute of it. Let's talk about Tetris 2020 real quick here, because I told you how much the first Tetris was a part of my life. I love that we're back for a second one. How do we feel about this? And what was inspiration for doing a kind of not an upgrade? What's the new, whatever it is, a newer version of it?
Revamped it.
Yes, revamped. That was the exact.
So we've been toying with this idea for years now. People don't know. Some people don't know about the history of Tetris. Tetris is 15 years old. The original Tetris, like I talked about earlier, we made it a long time ago. And Brian kept toying. He kept fucking around. He's like, go Tetris 2.0, 2.0. And I'm like, I'm down, bro, if you want to do it. So I actually wrote that verse 2 years ago. That's been waiting. That's been waiting, that verse. And we were gonna do it for like a 12-year anniversary or something like that. And then we're just like, fuck that. I was like, why would we do that? Why don't we just wait and do a 15-year anniversary of the song, 2020. We're thinking 2020 is gonna be the best year ever, obviously. I mean,
I think a lot of people were hoping.
yeah, but you know what? I think, like, I actually saw Gary Vee post something about like, don't cancel the year that changed you. And I like that because this year changed a lot of people, and it opened up a lot of eyes to things that were wrong and things that need to stop happening. So I think that this year is actually a great year. And I was like, fuck it, let's just release this album. Let's keep it going. Because we were actually thinking about pushing the album back because everything is going on. But we're like, screw it. I mean, let's make this year something. Let's make it positive. Because this isn't a negative album. This is bringing a lot of positive energy to people. And I think it's a good thing. Give it a distraction. So yeah, Tetris 2020, we're just like, fuck it, let's do it. And then V's like, oh, we got to sound exactly the way. We have to start our verses off the same way, and then we got to switch them off. And I'm like, let's do it. So the only difference is we didn't have the intro because that was from the actual music video when we did that.
Right. Which the music video I also loved. Also, you took Justine out of it at the end instead of I noticed. I thought there was gonna be a new girl name in there, but
no, it was Justine was the girl that said bounce, bounce, bounce on the original one.
Yes.
And it was my ex-girlfriend at the time.
Oh, really?
Well, it was my girgirlfriend at the time, and now my ex-girlfriend of like 20 years ago. But shout out Justine. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, I didn't want to use her name anymore. I didn't want to make it specific, so we're just like, let me see them big old titties.
It still worked.
Honestly, what I want to do is I want people to start making TikToks with Tetris. I think it would be funny. Yeah. I think people will come up with some fucking hilarious TikToks.
Yeah, there's so much to be used in that song. So I'm hoping let's push the movement. Let's get
a TikTok. I really want to. I mean, we just started doing promo. We wanted to take the weekend. We didn't put any marketing dollars behind it at all this weekend. We wanted to see like what we can bring to the table. And dude, we fucking crossed 15,000 streams on the album in.
Oh, that was awesome.
That's a lot. I mean, it doesn't sound a lot for like the big artists, but for independent artists, they're just like, surprise album. We didn't promote it at all. Right. 15,000 is pretty fucking good. So I shout out to everybody that's been supporting. I think it's fucking awesome. And I'm waiting to get the numbers back actually today to see which one the number one song was.
Super exciting stuff, and the numbers are going to continue to go up. And once Vegas opens up, I'm hoping to hear that at some of the parties. Let's veer off for a second because you're all over Spotify, but you're also all over television. And we alluded to it a little bit with American Ninja Warrior. I mean, I've got it that you were on G's to Gents, Naked Dating, which I checked out because you posted recently how much you enjoyed doing that experience. So not to check you out, I wanted to see who the partner was in that episode, but I did watch the episode. And then we got American Ninja Warrior and a lot of commercials. Do you enjoy being on TV more? And do you expect to be on something again soon?
See, I've been on quite a bit. I've actually,
yes.
From G's to Gents was 2008. I did a show called Focus Rally America on Hulu. That was it was basically like The Amazing Race. I did it with Beneficial from DACAV 5, one of the original members. And we were in a Ford Focus, drove around the country for 6 weeks and did challenges all over. And the creator of Amazing Race was the guy who did it and whatever. It was fucking cool. I think that was my favorite show I did because that was 6 weeks of just like, I got to see the whole country, you know? We did like 6,500 miles we drove in the new Ford Focus. And then I did 3 seasons of American Ninja Warrior. I did Guinness World Records Unleashed. That was where I got. That is
wild. The meter stick thing blew my mind.
Guinness World Record for the most yardsticks broke on my head in under a minute. I did another show for Hulu that a lot of people don't even fucking know, and I actually just watched it the other day because it's on Amazon. I know it's on YouTube. Genuine Ken: The Search for the Great American Boyfriend.
Wow.
It was weird.
Are you the Great American Boyfriend?
I was the first person kicked off.
Not everybody can be Ken.
Whitney Port Hills, huh?
I was saying not everybody can be Ken, you know?
No.
A hard figure.
I was happy I didn't make it any further on that show. But Dating Naked was a fun time. That was back in 2014. It was actually weird because I kept getting a call from these people, like casting company for it. And it turned out it was because the same casting director did American Ninja Warrior, did this show too. So she already had me on files. They just kept calling, and I thought it was like a fucking scam at first. I'm like, well, I'm not doing a naked show. What are you talking about? And then I finally talked to her, and she was like, no, Mikey, like, to me, whatever. It's on VH1. It's gonna be cool. You're gonna be the Bachelor for it, and yeah, it ended up being fun. I actually had a great time. Got to see Panama, and the naked thing, actually, you don't even think about it after a while. You're just like, whatever. It's kind of like normal after a minute. Yeah, that was
You
cool.
weren't a big fan of the seafood. You were, I don't know.
Dude, I can't eat. If it's from the sea, it's not for me. I don't eat any fish, no seafood. So I like doing TV stuff, and I would definitely do another thing. But I think whatever my next show is, I want it to be right. I want it to be right. I'm not going to do a fucking dating show.
Right.
I'm not going to do anything like that doesn't make sense for me. If I'm going to, like, I would do like a Big Brother type thing. I would do something where it's like, all right, this is actually going to be impactful for the long run. Because for me, I always just want to do stuff so it goes back to followers listening to my music. Music is what I love doing. It's what I enjoy doing. It's what I'm good at. And I like people seeing that. Like, so that's pretty much it. I don't care about fucking going for the love of whoever. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. So I would definitely do another show. I've actually been talking to a couple different companies about different things that they have going on that obviously I can't talk about. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely do it, but it's got to be the right thing.
Well, my thing is at this point, especially with like, roster's not the right word, and Rolodex is if I was like 80 years old, but like your connections in Vegas and also your lifestyle in general, I was wondering if you put together your own production, especially with short form television now with Quibi, where you can stay on YouTube. I know you did something with Rampage Jackson very recently. Like, have you thought about running your own production, like Mikey P production or DACAV production, and kind of putting out your own content?
Yeah, so I've been toying with that idea too. Like, I have a YouTube, but I don't really use my YouTube. Like, I have these things. I just need to. It's just so hard. I'm so all over the fucking place. I have so many different things going on. So it's like, I want to focus on this. Now I want to focus on this. I'm trying not to be the jack of all trades and conqueror of none. I want to figure out like where I want to go. So I've just been focusing on the music as much as possible. And I'm kind of running with that. That's why I haven't been posting as much content, but there are avenues. And yes, I have a whole fucking production crew out here in Vegas that I can use. Shout out to my boy, Jason.
Yeah.
And I can literally go do it. It's just a matter of getting it done and making it happen and dealing with other people and these people not being as committed. And some people aren't responsible, and then you got to get clear. There's a lot of things that go into it. So I think if I do anything soon, it'll probably be more like a YouTube, which I think that's what I'm probably going to do. I think people would like seeing what I do in Vegas on the YouTube channel. Even if I do like shit with my fucking phone or get like a little vlog camera. Yeah. I think people would definitely enjoy it. And I know how to edit everything. So I think I could put it together quick. Just bought a nice little iMac fucking big computer desktop. So I might get into it.
No, that'd be dope. You could be like the funner version of like David Dobrik. And I know I made up that word funner, but you could run that in Vegas.
Is David not fun? I feel like he's everywhere. I see that guy everywhere.
He does. He's had some great Vegas trips. I just think that your lifestyle and the stuff they don't show there that you could show on yours would magnify it. I think it's beyond entertaining. So
it'd be nuts. I definitely need to start filming the content. You're inspiring me again. See, you're pulling me in a different direction. Now I'm thinking.
Well, that I work in television. I don't represent, but I work for people who represent actors in TV and film. So I know everything on the production side.
Yeah.
Film. So I want to see it happen. I'm super hyped on it. We've gone through all the topics. We get to this next thing called the Moonshot, where we bring on a fan of yours. And today's special. I thought we'd have a good time to keep the vibes going. So I've got a special guest joining us here. Super excited. She might have a question. She might not. We might just be chopping it up. But she should be on right about now. There she is, our special guest today. But here's Tova Marks, everybody. Friend of the show. I guess while I have both of you here, and I already just asked Mikey this, and Tova, you've also been on The Real World, and I don't know what your TV plans are moving forward here. Would you guys do a TV show together, whether it be YouTube, using somebody else's production? And have you guys actually been talking about like behind the scenes about that?
We've chatted about it for sure.
Hey.
Tova. I mean, we have very similar fun personalities. I think people would love to see it.
True. Yeah. I think we play off each other really well. So yeah, I mean, that would be fun.
I want to put you on the spot though. Like, could you give me the name of your show right now? It's a tough question.
It would have to have our names in it for sure. Like, kind of like the Kardashians take whatever city they're in. It would be like Mikey and Tova take over whatever. And then we just have a really good time and host people in different cities. That would be cool.
If it was just about Tova, it would be the Tova Takeover.
Oh, I knew I was going to get something good out of this.
That's the rapper coming out.
Tova Takeover.
Speaking of that, I just listened to Mikey's new album. Let's go. I have a few favorite songs.
Yeah.
What's my favorite one? Oh my God, what's the stress one?
Stress Free.
Stress Free is my favorite song. I listened to it as I was getting ready for this Zoom call right now, so.
The Zoom call that I didn't know you were going to pop on. She told me she had a Zoom call for her work.
I know. This is work. I'm just joking. No, I had to make something up.
Sorry, Mikey.
Right.
On the payroll.
Yeah.
We finish off the show with an outro, but outros are so bland and boring, especially if I'm the one that has to do it. And we got both of you on right now. I'm going to botch the name of one of the clubs, but what I do, Mikey, for our guests is I give a multiple choice question, just 2 answers. If you get it right, so basically 50-50. If you get it right, I have to do the outro still, but if you get it wrong, you have to do your best attempt at an outro for a show. So the question is, what was the first club you took Tova and I to on our first night in Vegas? Was it Tao or was it at the Mandalay Bay?
It was at Mandalay Bay. It was light. No, it was
Tao. Remember?
Do I remember?
It was the first night we were there. We were with Leroy, and you took us actually to Tao our first night there.
Oh, we went to Hakkasan.
Hakkasan? What?
No, we went to, it was that,
You didn't even get one of the answers.
It was a multiple choice.
And this is why I was the blonde on Real World. Okay.
Well, honestly, since I think you got it so wrong, Tova, I think you should actually do the outro for today's show, not me and Mikey. So
I thought it was a trick question.
No, there was 2 answers. He took us to 2 clubs back-to-back nights.
It was like A or B.
It was A or B. So Tova, give us your best, this was the Tova show here. Thank you so much, Ethan and Mikey. So I'm very curious to see how this goes.
All right. Okay. Wait, I was waiting on Mikey to do this. I was not planning. I was so happy I wasn't doing this.
Well, I gotta be honest. When you didn't pick either of the options, you kind of put yourself in
in there. Okay, so I pretend it's my show?
Yeah. All your show. Give us the best outro you can.
All right, everyone. This was Tova's Takeover with Ethan and Mikey. Catch us next time here in Scottsdale, Arizona, where I'll show all y'all a great time. And we're out.
Woo!
Out.